What's up, everybody? It's Omar. It's August 23rd, 6:56 p.m. in the evening, and I wanted to make a video recapping my play for today, my big play, which was AEO. And I took a second trade on I think it's Fang, F-A-N-G. So, if you don't follow me currently, let me just go to my Twitter. This is this is my handle, watchotrade. I just posted my watch list for tomorrow. This is exaggerated. It's huge. I know it's a lot of plays. Now, just because I post a big watch list like this doesn't mean that I'm gonna trade all these stocks. It's just telling you that these are stocks that I expect to be volatile tomorrow. Some will go long, some will go short. Nobody knows what they're really gonna do. I prefer short stocks because I think it's easier, but I do long stocks too. I actually took a quick trade on Hertz today, so I took 3 trades today. I forgot about that. I only made like I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Probably like, I think it was like $80. Very quick trade. Actually more. I think it was more. But this is my watch list for tomorrow. So I'll figure out. And what I usually do is, I make my watch list. Sometimes I'll make a trade off a stock on my watch list. Sometimes I don't. Like today, the big trade that I made was a stock that wasn't even on my watch list. So this is before I go over that, also, if you just type my name, watchotrade, you'll see I have a YouTube channel. So, subscribe and share, and if you go here to playlist, and you'll see everything is customized, and you go to my videos and you can see all my videos here, and hopefully you can help me grow this. I appreciate all you guys that follow me. So so what did I say today? Look at this now. So we'll go to me, and you can see it's all time stamped. F-E-N-G, yeah, that's what AEO. And this is what I said. This was 9 hours ago, okay? So this was well before the market opened. I said I think AEO tanks market open, had a huge spike pre-market last week, then faded all day. Let's see, great short. So in the morning, like if you could do it, this is like these are the scanners that I use. But Thinkorswim has, if you click on this watch listing and you go to lovers and losers, they do have a pre-market mover scan that over the course of the morning you'll see. What I do is I usually filter by volume, and then I can see what has the most volume pre-market, and then that's how I found AEO. Using this scanner, this pre-market scanner, and let me pull back, and then so that when I saw that, what I always do is when I see a stock spiking, I kind of go and I look at. I usually have the 5-day 5-minute chart here, and then what I kind of do is like I'll go back and I'll look at, like, let's say the last 10 days and see what it's done, and then sometimes I'll go and I'll look back the last year and I'll see what the stock has done. And the reason why I knew this happened is because let me see if I could do this. It was a 5-day 15-minute. Okay, so look, on August 17th, look what happened. The stock spikes all the way up to 1250, and the market opened and this thing tanked. That's why I knew that it was gonna tank. Plus, it's a shitty company, American Outfitters. Their clothes suck ass, and it was just some stupid news. It just said just had some better than expected earnings, I think. But that's not enough to drive all this stuff. And it's funny, all the retail stocks went up in price, but they're all gonna come crashing down. Trust me. So with that said, let's review. Let me just move this over. So this is what happened. So I'm putting my support and resistance lines pre-market. Now, I actually try to make a pre-market right in here, 1247. I try to make a I try to take a short on it pre-market. I couldn't get filled, so I said maybe that's a sign. Let me just wait till market opens. So as you can see, the market opens and you have this crazy candle, bulls and bears trying to push this up and down. This thing went crazy. It went from 1270, which was pretty much its resistance peak, all the way down to 1211 in that 1 minute time frame. And then it kind of settled in the second minute and it started coming down. And in this candle, I took a short. I got executed, I think it was at 1240. And I was risking 1270, but I knew it wasn't gonna go up back up to 1270. I just figured it was gonna tank, and it just got all this selling pressure. Remember, guys, when you see red, that's telling you, you know, it's gonna sell, right? So I just let it, you know, sell off, and the stock just completely just tanked it. You know, kind of found its support here, kind of hovered here. So what you do is, once you see a stock start trading in a range, all you do is, you know, put your trend lines there, and you can see here's your trend line, here's support, here's resistance. I'm sorry, this is support, this is resistance, and you can see it never breaks above the channel, and boom, you could have took another short once it broke below here and took this down. I just let this rock, and I just let it literally just tank all morning. And I covered, once I saw this bottom here. So here I'll give you guys a trick. So let's say, right, let's say you see the stock going down. So let's say you say, okay, this is the moment where it's going to reverse, so I can, you know, take a long on it. What you want to do is you want to see the stock spike and then pull back, and then so you want to see it test whatever the low is. So if the low here is 1164, if that's support, then you want to see, once it starts spiking, is it gonna get there and hold it, and then that's the confirmation of the reversal. You see how it comes here, it kind of gaps up and then continues on its way down. And if you notice here, this is where it bottoms out, right? And then what you're gonna notice is you're gonna start seeing, right, buying pressure. So you see the buying here. Now look what happens, right? It gaps up here, right, for a second. It comes down, right? But now look, this is a higher low. So this is giving me confirmation that a reversal is taking place. And then all of a sudden you start seeing buying coming in. So you have to just really watch those volume bars come in, and you start seeing the buying pressure come in. And that's when I knew the reversal was covered. And I covered, I think at like, it was 11, I think I covered like right in here. It's 1167 or 1168. Yeah, so, you know, it was really nice. I made close to $2,000 on that trade. All right, so so that was my big winner. I also took another trade on FENG. So, you know, I always like to watch FENG. I put it on my watch list. It should be on my watch list for tomorrow. Did I put it? Oh yeah, there it is. So if you notice, look what it's been doing. Let's pull up the last 10 days. So this is where the run started. It started coming actually, let me do the 5 days, 5 minutes, so you guys can see it. Look what happens. So usually what happens is, right, either when the market opens, it tanks and then it gaps up, right? So look at that, was on 817, right? And then 818, whatever, it gaps up, and then you had this nice shorting opportunity, pulls back pretty nicely, washes pretty nicely, goes from 481 all the way to a low of 442. All right, so it washed pretty nicely. It got even after hours, it got down to as low as 440. Next day, what it does on 821, gaps up to 478, washes all the way back down to 430. Okay, and then look what happened yesterday and then today. Yesterday, look what happened. Market opens up, gaps up to 446, washes all the way down to almost $4, 403, and then has another run. This is what it's been doing every day. And today, look what it did. You know, it gapped up all the way up to 525 and washed all the way down to 477. It's been doing this every day. So you know what tomorrow I expect it to do the same thing. So, you know, you know, if you want, just watch the stock, you know, see what it does when the market opens. My expectation is it's at this 490. It may wash a little bit, then bounce, and then wash again. So, you know, so today I happened to catch this stock. So, you know, I had a side eye on it, and you know, so the market opens, it gaps up, pulls back. This is a bull flag. So when you see this, when you get a flag like this, and look, it touched VWAP. You could have took that play right off VWAP for a push up, risking VWAP as your stop. Now, when it has the gap up, look at the flag pattern. So what happens is, right here, you put your trend line, and once it breaks above the trend line, you know, you go up. So right here, once it pulls back, this is your entry. Gaps up, and then it pulls all the way back down. Right, here's your second flag. All right, and then it has that last push, and then this is where the wash begins. Now, I caught the stock right here, right. So I saw it like kind of forming this pattern, and when I saw it gap up here and start pulling back, so if you see right in here, this is high a day, right? So let me do the drawing so you guys can see. So this is high a day, right? This is, let me just make this easier on myself. All right, this is the lower high. So what's it showing you? Weakness. It starts trending down, right? Look at this. It gaps up. It gaps up. But it's not, you know, it's actually forming. It's hard to tell, but it's like almost like a head and shoulders pattern forming. And right in there, I took right in here when it started coming back down. Let me zoom in a little more, make it easier for you guys to see. I took my short, and I think I got executed at 506. I took a short, risking 550, the high, which was here, which is 513. I could have risked 505, 525 if I wanted to, but I didn't. And I took only 1,000 shares, and I took this short, and I just wrote this down, man. I wrote this down. I actually put a stop right there, and I just didn't really pay attention to it. Once I saw it broke below VWAP, that's when I started paying attention to it, and I covered right in here, which was I covered at 588, I think it was. So it was nice, you know. So I made a nice little profit there. And then my last trade today I made, which was very quick, was on Hertz. I took it long. So Hertz is another stock that I just love to watch like throughout the day because it's so volatile. It's a crazy stock to trade. And I'll show you where I traded Hertz. So I caught Hertz. I actually was, you know, toggling between stocks, and I caught Hertz right. So the market opens, the stock gaps up to 1862. You know, a good short would have been right here. If this is the high of day, it's gapping down, it spikes up, but you see how it forms a lower high? This is where you could take it short, risking this, and this thing washed. Now, I took it long because this is what happens. I see Hertz do this all the time. You see, it pulls back, right? It finds its support here, right? So at this point, let me remove this so you guys don't get confused. So right here is support, right? It gaps up, right? It comes back down, and look, it forms a higher low. So right into this higher low, I took a long. I actually waited till it break over, because you know, whole numbers are psychological resistance barriers. So once it broke over 18, I took a long, and I got in, and I took a small position, only 300 shares, because you know, I get a little scared of trading this stock sometimes, and I just rode the trend. You see how this was already here? Because when I was in the stock, I literally put a trend line, and I just rode the stock up. And you know, I rode it all the way up till it broke, and I was getting hyped because I was gonna add in here. Once it broke, when it went from red to green, I was going to buy another 1,000 shares. So I would have been in 1,300 shares. But I noticed that right in here, it kind of gave me this wick, and that's telling me that bears. You see how it's the body's like pushing down? That means that bears are trying to push the candle up. So I was a little concerned, and then I saw it starting to fade, so I didn't pull the trigger and buy more shares, and I saw it started to sell, and I think I got out at 11.21 it was. So you know, quick little profit there. I think I made like, I don't know, like what was it, like 80, 90 bucks, I don't even remember. So those were my 3 trades today. Those were my 3 trades. All right, so you know, this is my watch list for tomorrow. All right, you got some great opportunities there. All right, guys. So remember, you can always, guys, always remember that when a stock is ripping, let me see if I can find a stock that was ripping here today. Excuse me, that pulled back. Let's see. Okay. I want to catch one that's like spiking. Let me see if I can find one here that spiked and pulled back and spiked again. Let's see. All right, so yeah, I'll give you an idea of how to trade some of these stocks. Like, because a lot of people say, you know, what do you do to go long? Let's say I see a stock like this ripping, right? It gaps up, it pulls back. So you know, this is for someone. This is the higher day, right? Sort of forming a flag. Let me. When it pulls back, right? Let me forget the flag. Forget the flag. So this is the higher day, right? It pulls back, right? So you see that it pulls back. So right here, this is support, right? What I want to see it test this 930. So if I see a gap up and it pulls back and it forms a higher low, then for me, this is a confirmation that the stock might have a continuation upward. And this may be worth taking a long entry on right here, risking the previous support level, because a confirmation that it's bullish, because it pulled back, right? It gapped up and pulled back again, and it just quickly goes spike. You see how it consolidated? So you got the gap up, you had the pullback, you had the gap up, you had the pullback, and then you had the second move. This didn't happen. This is not like a quick spike where it goes straight up and down. This kind of gapped up, you know, pulled back, gapped up, pulled back. You see the higher low, and right in here, this is okay, you know, it's consolidating, right? So here's the high. This at this point, this is the high of day, and you're seeing, right? It's pulling back, it's gapping up, it's pulling back, it's gapping up, it's pulling back. You see how it's. This is what should make you feel comfortable. When you see that consolidation, you see that it's testing, but it's not breaking below. That's your sign to take it long. You know, because you're getting like a confirmation and a test of the new support level. Because you know you don't want to see it. You know, you may see it here, and then what if you take it here and it goes and it breaks below? You want to see it kind of gap up and pull back a couple of times and see that it doesn't dip below the new support level so that you can take a trade on it. That is how I like to long. I'm trying to look for one stock that, let's see, like all right, so this is a stock that rips up, right? Kind of gaps up, pulls back, right? So you see, right? This is support right here, right? It pulls up, but look how it kind of pulls back. You see, you want to see it kind of like double bottom before you go, and you see how it kind of comes down, gaps up, pulls down. So when you see it pull down right here, right, you see this is a support level now, right? So you see it starts gapping up, and you see how it's hard to tell. Let me zoom in here, but right, this is the new support level, and you see how it's consolidating, and now you're getting a push. So once you start getting that push, this is where you take the trade and you're risking this. That's how you know you're getting the second push, and that gives you a clear indicator that you can kind of go long on it, because you're getting that consolidation and then the next leg up, because it's not breaking below the new support level. So that's what I do when I want to go long. I'm trying to find, like, look, here's another example. This is another example. This stock gaps up all day, right? Finds its high peak. It starts pulling back. Now, this is one of the patterns off my book where you take the trade off VWAP, but let's pretend VWAP wasn't there. Let's pretend VWAP wasn't there for a second, right? You're just clearly looking at the pattern. You see at this point right here, this is high day, right? Pulls back, right? So it's starting to consolidate. When it pulls back, you see how it touches this level. So this is support now. This becomes new support. You see how it gaps up, right? So you see the gap up. You're like, all right, I'm not touching it yet. I want to see that it's gonna hold support. And if it goes against me and it goes out, fuck it. I won't trade it. You know, it's better just to be safe than sorry. I mean, you could take a trade and just put a stop here, but if you want a clear indicator that the stock is gonna move, you're gonna see the consolidation. You want to test it. So right here, right, this is resistance, right? So you see gaps up, pulls back, but look, you see how it's not breaking the new support level. So right here, when you got that double bottom, this is where you take the trade long, and you risk, all right, that support level. If you want to be safe, put a stop there, all right, or a couple of cents below it. But look, it comes down, but it never gets back to it. So you could have stood in and rolled it up, you know. And then when you see that, you know, it's peaking and it's, you know, bouncing, and then it's starting to, you know, reverse, you cover. That's how you trade, guys. It's that simple. It's that simple. These are the simple patterns that I trade. You know, trading doesn't have to be complicated. It really doesn't. Look at here. Stock gaps up. This is shitty dog shit stock. Gaps up to 28 cents, right? Finds its high here, right? You know, so let's say, all right, let's say it starts here, comes here, right? Let's start even here, actually. Let me erase this, and then I'll end the video. So stock gaps up, right? Starts consolidating, right? So, you know, put your line. This is your high day. This is right here. It seems to be support, which is that 25-cent range, right? Gaps up, right? Doesn't break it, but look, comes back down. So good. Now you know we have that double bottom. It's a clear indicator that this is new support. Now you take the trade. That's why the stock is going up, guys, because this is what people see. Remember, these are just little dots on the screen. Nobody knows what the fuck a stock is gonna do. This is how people play stocks. You know, look at them for yourself. Go through the charts and just do them yourself, and then you could take a look to see, you know, how these stocks are moving up. You can see it again and again and again. Okay, you can see it again and again and again. Now here, right, here's another one more. Stock gaps up. All right, so right here is where it starts pulling back, consolidating, right? So that is, so right here, right, this is higher day, so that is resistance, this is support, right? This is where it pulls back to, bounces up, breaks above it, right, for a second. Okay, then but you see, you see that tail wick, it's not a clear indicator, so you got to be careful, right? It starts coming back down, right? You see it finds its support here, right? So you see it's consolidating, it's coming down, but there's no volume push, so there's nothing to really go in, right? Because right here it finds support, but look what happens, it breaks below it. That's why you got to make sure you see that volume start pushing before you get the trade in. And look, right, it comes back down, touches VWAP, right? So it comes back up, right? Put in right here, look, it comes back down, right? This is clear support, right? Look, comes up, comes down, and you get the push. Once you get this push, this is where you could take the trade and you can risk this. So that's all it is. That's all it's doing, guys. Look right here again. Look, gaps up. Now this is new higher day. All right, comes back down. Comes out. Finds support here. Okay, gaps up, pulls back. Right. Gaps up, pulls back. This is new support. Gaps up, pulls back. Look, gaps up, pulls back. It's trying to find its way. Gaps up, pulls back. You see, does it? This holds as support now, and then you could take the trade once you see the volume coming in, and you're risking the low right here. This is what it's all about: support and resistance, guys. That's all it's about. Volume, support, and resistance. That's all it is. All right, folks. So I hope you found this useful. All right, and if I see anything moving pre-market, I'll post it on Twitter. I'll tell you what I'm looking to trade pre-market tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a great one.